Ooh, fog. Okay. Well, that's pretty dense fog. Come on, donkey. There we go. Careful. Oop, forgot to set up the window. That one over there. We have 6 hours 18 minutes left on the buffs. It's going to be a bit more difficult to find stuff to listen. Pretty dense fog. Beware of the fog spiders. Yeah, I was just thinking that. But you don't often see them, but yes, they're more common in the fog. And it's easier to get lost in the fog when it's like this as well. It's nearly always, unless you know the area really well where you are, it's a better idea just to stay put until the fog lifts. Oh dear, there's something. Yeah, there's so little time left. I'm not sure if I'm going to manage to do this before the newbie buffs run out. I think there's something. Yeah, tropical foliage. So our coffee and our tea, spices. Trying to raise my skill, but it won't go over 20 because it's capped until I get premium. Oh, cocoa beans, cacao beans. So I'm making chocolate, hot chocolate, and cooking. Can grow those in a little pottery pot in the planters. This fog is lasting a while. I think I needed some more. Oh, we seem to have more wool than cotton now. Doesn't matter. Both good for first aid. Fertile egg. Mousing over just to see if there's anything about. I thought there was something there. Maybe not. Oh, it's giving me logs. Branches. That's okay, I'll keep them for making the cart later. Got to put them in the store, 3 logs. Oh, poor donkey. Right, I'll walk over to the bulk storage bin, put them in there. Because they're still better quality than what I can cut down at the moment. I'll go over this one. They're quite heavy, so that's a full size log, 24 kilograms. What you would normally cut, what if you cut down a tree, you could cut it into, depending on the age, cut it into about 5 or 6 logs. I may as well get this on the way. And then the majority of them would be 24 kilograms, and then you'd have one probably that's slightly under that weight as well. But trees have different growing ages. Mature maple tree, that one. So that, if you cut that down, it would only give you 1 log because it's relatively young. I have to get a bit closer to. This one is old, a very old maple tree. So that would give you the most wood. And that would probably give you about 5 or 6 logs. Old one, oh, another very old one. They work on a cycle, start from young, age up, and then they go to shriveled. And then I assume they respawn as another young tree and carry on the cycle. I've never actually, because it always seems to be the same trees in the same spot. Never actually looked into it very much. Of course, you can cut that down and plant something else, or cut it down and leave it, and then eventually something else might grow there, or it might stay as grass, might get some normal flowers on it. Because you can clear an area of trees and then within a few weeks it's covered in trees again. It's pretty fast. Or bushes as well. Bushes spread like weeds as well. Oh, that's good. We've got all the grains there. There's 4 different grains: oats, rye, wheat, and barley. And you can make flour from all of those, and you can make bread from the flour, um, or use the dough that you make into a pizza base, or there's loads you can do with the bread. You can add herbs to it, all sorts. You can even make bread and put the loaf into a meal as an ingredient to make a bigger meal. Got plenty of logs in there. Good start for the cart. Well, let's do the branches as well. Where's the branches? I thought we had some branches. Oh yeah, there they are. Put those in as well. But the fog's still here. I think it's lifting slightly though. Yeah, I can see a bit better. I see the main jackal. We're going to do this corner and then go in and sell what we've got. Should be fairly close to full. Briar patch. Get the first aid kit ready. Oh, there we go. Three damage, it's not too bad. It goes from very light wound, and then you get light wound, and then you get a medium wound, and then you get a severe wound, and a bad wound. And I think it's the mediums, the severes, and the bads can all get worse. So having some skill in first aid is helpful. Yeah, looks nearly gone. Just a little bit hazy in the distance. There could still be fog spiders around. They stick fairly close to grey meat just in case, but they're less likely to attack me because I've got the newbie buffs. They are rare. Doubt I'd see them. Venerable pig. Oh, it's another one over there, another venerable. They eat everything, always. You leave a pile of stuff lying around, or like you leave behind the bits of a butchered corpse, and they'll eat everything. If you leave an unbutchered corpse, they will eat it and it will become butchered. There's a few animals that do that, not just the pigs. Can't see any more down there. Right, I'll nip in and sell all this and then we'll go around again. Could go somewhere else, but we wouldn't have the donkey then. It's a bit easier on the donkey, especially when I get overloaded, like when I had all those logs. I wouldn't have been able to move carrying those logs, but because I'm on the donkey, it takes the weight, so to speak. It's got a bit of damage on it. Rice. You don't often see rice inland. Rice is more commonly found on the shoreline. Um, and rice is one of the ones that you actually have to plant underwater. You can't grow it as a normal crop. It has to be a certain amount underwater. You can also grow, I don't think I've got any. No, you can also grow the reed plants underwater. You get wild ones as well that you can harvest, but the seeds you can plant as a crop um, and harvest those. And the reeds are for making paper. You can also make paper from wood scraps, so the sort of leftover bits from when you're doing carpentry. But you get better paper from, or higher quality paper from the higher quality ingredients. So if you go out and get reeds, wild reeds, it's always best to use the highest quality that you can get. And with wood scraps, you can cut down shriveled trees and fruit trees, or plant a sprout and cut the sprout down as immediately after you planted it, and you'll get a shriveled, you'll get a wood scrap that is at your wood cutting skill rather than a lower quality one that you would get from carpentry scraps. And obviously the higher quality ones would make better paper, better quality paper. And they use paper in making books, making the almanacs. It's all to do with making maps as well. Um, Archaeology reports. You can also make ink, and that's used in map making. Um, it's used in the almanac book when you fill out information, say you went and studied an orange tree, you could record the information about the orange tree and then put that page in the almanac, and then you would know all the details about the orange tree, when it was going to be ripe, etc. It's fairly involved. The wiki's pretty good. It's very detailed on what you can do, and then say you're a new player, you can ask questions in the help chat and the global and your server chat, which is the freedom chat. Sometimes you get players that are silly and give you silly answers, so if you've got a chat that's like that, you can always go into the help chat and hopefully get a decent reply in there instead. It's like any game, you get some silly players. Some nice rare items. Another casket, 8 quality casket. Selling for 1 silver. Plate fan brace, it's quite low quality but some good input. Improve it. Plate fan brace in iron rare, that's nice. It would actually be shining as well, your arm would look shiny. And a rare log, 2 quality. Oh, it could improve something. The reason I was laughing at the log being 2 quality is to be able to use that log to improve something, that something would have to be lower quality than 2, which is relatively difficult. And the reason that a rare log might sell is it can actually, on the last small fragment of the log even, beg your pardon, it has a chance to transfer that rarity. It is a low chance, but it's possible. More rare tools. Oh, tool parts, even its heads and blades. Those you would combine with a normal handle or a shaft, and it would still retain its rarity when combined. Never used to, but they changed that so that it does. They've changed a few things over the years. It used to be that if you were making planks or shafts, you had a chance of failing, and they tweaked that so that there's 100% chance of success. I think it's the same with nails as well. There's lots in this area. Got nightshades, tropical foliage, and some more mints over there. Quite a few tropical foliage around. Oh, that's the third one I've done, isn't it now? Oh, got some coffee. That's a ground spawn mushroom. Yeah, ground spawn red mushroom over there. Get up in a minute. There's a couple of herbs and things that you can't grow, that can only be found. Oh, and it's got no damage. That's a fresh, virtually fresh spawn one without any damage. So it'll sell well. There's a couple of things that nutmeg is one that can only be found by doing botanizing. You cannot grow the nutmeg. You can also find it actually um, from another node, flotsam. Yeah, flotsam, you have a chance of finding a jar, and inside the jar, you have a chance of finding some of the herbs and spices. And there's another one, nettles. I don't know if I've got any nettles here, but nettles you can't grow. That's another one that you can use them in cooking. Um, that's another one you literally have to find this way. Or sometimes if you do cooking, it asks for a specific ingredient. I've got my bowl. I think my bowl's still got a fair bit of water in it. Let's empty it out. Oh no, let's still do law. So if you want to cook something, say I wanted to cook something in my pottery bowl, I would do law, and then it would give me a suggestion as to what I can add to the water that's there. So it's saying add a wheat flour. So it would probably tell me to make dough, or it could suggest an alcohol maybe. I haven't got anything to be able to make the wheat flour. I need a grindstone to do that. Easy enough to make. Just make it from a piece of stone with a stone chisel, which I don't actually have. It's another tool that I've had to make. It's not too many tools. This sickle, scythe is another one that you don't start with. There's a couple, and they're easy enough to make. Just make them out of iron and put a handle on them or a shaft. I did make the mallet, wooden tool, for when I was doing the hitching post. And to do smithing, you can either use a forge or you can use the little campfire, but forge is better. Just a room of vanilla. Not sure what that does. Look up, there's a whole table with all the different rooms that you can make for putting on tools and weapons and carts and all sorts of things. There's even a de-aging room. So if I wanted to make this donkey younger, I could by putting the room on them. It's useful for transporting animals between servers because sometimes if the animal is too old, it might die when you're transferring servers. So to be on the safe side, you can make it younger. It should say what it does, really. It would be nice if you moused over it and told you what it did. I don't think there's anything else with rooms on. Some more. Some more cotton. Might sell some of that. Just keep 2 or 3 of them. It's a very messed up mine. But that's the trouble sometimes. Um, to be able to find a mine, you have to dig off all the dirt until you get down to the rock. I mean, obviously, you've got mountains around where you can like go to the side of the mountain, find a rock tile, and mine in. But if you're far away or you want one on your deed, you can dig down, take all the dirt off, find your rock. But the trouble with this is This one is opened at this angle, which is an awkward angle, which means your approach in would be from this side, which is somebody would have to dig this down so that the tile border is something like 20 to 24 slopes to be able to get in and out easily. This is awkward. But somebody must have started coming down this way and thought, oh, well, I'll just mine in and hopefully get in on that side. And anyway, it's very strange and messed up. It's fairly flat as well, by the look. Why they didn't go in this side or that side, I don't know. Very odd. It can be collapsed. A priest could collapse it with the right spell. Magranon. Probably got the pronunciation totally wrong, but I think that's the god that is able to. The priest is able to collapse that. And then if you collapsed it, you could try mining that side instead, provided you don't have a bigger cave system. These two, yeah, one there, and one there. I'm getting pretty full actually. Yeah, sometimes in Wurm things can go wrong like that mining. Um, and if it's an unsupported mine, it can collapse on its own, so you can build like wooden mine supports and support the walls and the floor and the sides. And in this as well, it's I haven't really been into the mines very much because you never know what's in there, but um, you can mine straight across, or you can mine straight down, or you can mine up. Mine in any direction, not really. Um, but there's if you're trying to mine, you end up going into somebody else's system. Hi. Oh, there we go. A coin. Only a copper, but it's still a coin to add to the pot. Thank you.
Suisha Kotaku is now following.
Yeah, I think we're getting pretty full. No, it still hasn't stopped. Right. Get the bandages ready in case I need to, because these briars might hurt me. Nope, we're full up. Right, let's go and sell all this. That fog is totally gone now. I do like it when it gets foggy though. Right, going back up to Greymead. Oh, the unicorn? Yeah, it's a unicorn. You can get white horses. Well, you can get all sorts of different colour horses. The most common is grey, but you do rarely find wild horses that are in different colours. Sort of like a gold colour one. You get the very deep black ones, the ebony ones. And then there's the sort of lighter greyish black one. Oh, that's an ebony one, I think. Let's have a look at its nose. This is how you tell if they're ebony or not. The normal black ones have a white line down their nose, but this is a proper ebony. If you inspect them, yeah, her colour is ebony black. Those are the most sought after horses because they have a speed bonus, a natural speed bonus of their colour. This is Xanadu. I'm at Greymead. Just doing a little experiment, seeing how much, seeing if I can make 8 silver to buy first premium. Right. So I'm doing forage and bot. I'm selling all the stuff that I get to the token. Um, Trying to get 8 silver to buy premium. And so far we are at 2 silver, 91 copper, and 72 iron. I did this experiment before in 2021 when it was under the old system. Coins. It's going to be the moment of inspiration coins mainly, but I am selling what I forage and bot as well to the token. I'm just trying to see how long it's going to take me. Last time I did this under the old system, it took me 22 hours. I still had newbie buffs on when I'd got the 8 silver. And we've still got newbie buffs on now, but there's just over 5.5 hours left on those. So I think we're going to go well over the newbie buff 24 hours. But I'll keep doing it until I get the 8 silver, just to see how long it will take. So getting closer to 3 silver at least. Yeah, I'm only doing this for about an hour at a time. So I've got about 10 minutes left. Nearly there. Right, I want to actually let's get some food. I've got 3 treasure map caskets. So if I wanted to sell those are about a silver each. But I'm going to go purely on the coin to start with. And I might do some little videos on me attempting to go and solve the treasure clues after I've done all these. Right, I've got about 10 minutes, so we'll grab a bit more, see if we can get another moment of inspiration for a coin. What's that? Oh, young horse. Can't ride the horses yet. Can ride the donkeys. Anybody can ride the donkeys, which is nice. It's a relatively new addition to the game, but thinking more of the new players, which is nice. Yeah, this is a normal colour horse, just a grey male. Quite a young one. It's probably a recent spawn. Well, the maple trees aren't ripe anymore. I can't remember what comes next after maple. It's probably some of the fruit trees like the cherry and the lemon and the orange. Olive as well, it might be. We've seen many olive trees round here. Some vines up there. It's a very young maple tree. Something about how the trees age. Overaged maple tree, that's one of the older ones. Very old one. Rose bushes, are they right? No, I think those are finished. You can actually use the roses in cooking. Chocolate covered rose petals, I think, something like that. You can make cakes and put those on the cakes. So that's very involved food system. These are just the ones that you get given to start with, but there's over 500 cooking and brewing recipes on top of this, and you can discover them by yourself just by experimenting with cooking, or you can cheat and look them up. Somebody's done like a Google spreadsheet of all the recipes that they know of and added to them. It's a relatively new system. Saying that's probably about 4 or 5 years old now, at least. But we had another much more basic system, and this is just so much better, but so much more involved as well. Right, how are we doing on time? Oh, yeah. Rare clay. It's got 7 to sell. Oh, star sapphire. That's nice. That's for doing special sorcery staffs. Oh, I can't think what they're called. Staff? Yeah, there we go. Different staffs to use for casting their special sorcery spells. You have to get one of the books to be able to learn the spell in the first place. And those gems are quite rare. That's a nice high quality one as well. You can get a rare version. It's even more uncommon. Some flowers up there. I'm not going to take them in, Debris, because that'll be heavy stuff and stuff that doesn't normally sell, so we'll leave that. It'll be rock shards, clay, possible ore. The rock shards are 24 kilograms, I think, and so is the raw ore. Clay's 2 kilograms, if I remember correctly. So the clay's not too bad, but I don't think the clay sells to the token, so may as well leave it for somebody who actually wants it. Right, let's nip in and sell this. Second. Venerable horse. That's the oldest that they can get. Sell this. He's just asking about connections to the highway. Sounds like he wants to. Yeah, it sounds like he wants to connect it to his deed, so he's obviously built a road up to the main road and wants to add his to the highway system. And what he would have to do, say this was the junction, he would have to put a waystone in one of those and then put the cat's eyes back to his deed. And I think he has to have a waystone at the other end as well, and then he would be connected, meaning he could use the wagoneer. That horse is actually wandering around. Yeah, he could use the wagoneer to transport bulk items then. I'm going to have a look at the horse in a minute. So it's not branded. It's been bred, it's not wild. You can tell that it's not a wild one because it has a proper name. So that grey one, venerable fat horse, that is a wild spawn one, whereas this one is bred by someone because it has a proper name. Same as these in here. It works with the horses, it works with the unicorns, and it works with the hell horses. Oh, she's not even cared for. That's very strange. Yeah, sometimes you find named horses just wandering around in the wild, and usually it's because it's come from a disbanded deed, so somebody's stopped playing for whatever reason, and their animals are no longer tied to that deed because you can brand them. And if you brand them, it basically ties them to your deed and you can track them and trace them, things like that. But when the deed falls, they lose the branding, and when your walls eventually decay or your gates and fences eventually decay, the animals can just wander here, there, and everywhere. Right, pop those in there because we might use them later. Still trying to sell that log. And what was the balance? There we go. 2 silver, 94 copper, and 38 iron. Ooh, it's up there. Yeah. Right. I've still got the newbie anti-aggro thing, so probably won't attack me. Put the donkey on the hitching post. It's got any decay. No, it's alright. Right, thank you for watching. My hour is up and I am going to take a break. And I'll be doing this again soon. Thank you very much. Bye.